Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Stone Boxing family right here, and I just wanted to talk about this Usyk versus Wilder fight that's being talked about. It looks like it's going to be for the Zuffa belt, and I see some people hating on this fight, saying that they don't want to see this fight. For me, it's like, as long as Usyk vacated those belts and the division's not being held up, man, like, what? I don't really see what the problem is. It looks like Usyk really wants the Wilder name on his resume. He's like the last guy from that era, from that three-headed monster era, that he didn't fight. And I think it's just I think Usyk just always wanted to fight Wilder. So people say Wilder's too washed up and he won't stand a chance against Usyk. I think that might be the case, but I think Usyk is I think he's more washed up than people think. I saw Hatman make a video about this. He said something about this in the video. He said that Usyk's decline has been masked by Tyson Fury's decline. A lot of people look at Tyson Fury as like this all-time great, top 10 heavyweight of all time, this like all-time great kind of fighter. They look at him as like perpetually in the top 5, even though he's so inactive and doesn't fight that much. And when he does fight, he's not always fighting like the best opposition out there. What I'm trying to say is Tyson Fury is pretty washed up, and I think he might be a lot more passive than people think as well. And because Usyk dominated him and he was looked at as like the man in the division at the time, I think that kind of masked Usyk's decline. He looked good against Dubois. He knocked him out, but his footwork, his head movement, it wasn't the same like it was in the past. He was like up against the ropes a lot more in that fight. His foot movement wasn't there as much. And then in the Rico fight, we saw Rico fought well, but Usyk, he came in at a career heaviest. I don't know. I feel like if it was the Usyk that fought Joshua the second time, Rico probably would have got bashed up. I don't know. That didn't happen. But I just think 39-year-old Usyk, I don't think he's the guy he once was a couple years ago either. I'm not saying he's as washed up as Wilder, but he's pretty past it himself, and I think we saw that in the Rico fight, how past it he might be right now. So for Usyk's final fight, if this is his final fight, it's not for any like major sanctioning body belt, I don't really mind the fight. I think Usyk would beat Wilder pretty comfortably, maybe even stop him late. But I think Wilder, we might see a better Wilder than we saw against the Chisora fight. I think he's gonna come with a lot of passion, if that's the right word. I think he's gonna come and he's gonna try to give it his all. Because I think while Usyk has always wanted to fight Wilder, I think Wilder has been craving like a win like against someone like an Usyk. He hasn't had a win like that. His best win is Luis Ortiz. He had a close fight against Fury the first time. Most people think Fury won that first fight. I thought a draw was fine. But he doesn't have a name like an all-time great win like Usyk or anybody like that. So I think he kind of craves that himself. So I think we might see a lot more game Wilder than we've seen in the past, with a little more heart than we've seen he showed heart in the Chisora fight, but I think he's gonna come with a lot more game this time. But I don't think that'll be enough. I don't even think I think Usyk would beat probably any version of Wilder, in my opinion. Wilder has that straight, or he had that straight right hand in the past, so that he always could have landed that against Usyk. But we've seen in the past couple of fights, as of right now, that right hand isn't there anymore. It doesn't look like it has that same type of power it once did. Chisora went the distance against him. He was hurt a couple times, but he was never like out of it at any time. I don't know if he could knock out Usyk with one. I mean, obviously he can if he hit him with like the perfect shot, but I don't see him landing anything like that against Usyk. You know, at this point, obviously I don't see him outboxing him. I think like I was trying to say earlier, like Wilder's struggled with southpaws historically too. We saw in the Spilka fight back in the day, he really struggled with those angles Spilka was giving him. And the Zhang too, Zhilei Zhang, we saw him really struggle in that fight too. I know it wasn't the best Wilder, but you know, he was fighting a southpaw, and I think he lost pretty much every round in that fight. He did well to get on his feet after getting dropped like that, so we can see the heart still there. But yeah, I think Usyk southpaw, you know, those angles, I think Usyk's probably going to be able to land on Wilder at will, and I think he might stop him maybe late stoppage. But Wilder has a lot of heart, so I think it would probably go the distance, but like a late stoppage wouldn't surprise me. But I think it'll be entertaining either way. Like, a lot of people are hating on this fight. They'd say they'd rather see a G Capello, and yeah, if Usyk had the belts, that'd be a fight I want to see. But if this is his farewell fight, you know, his last fight, I don't know. I think Usyk Wilder, call me crazy, maybe because I'm American, but I think Usyk Wilder would be like more entertaining than something like IG Capello for some reason. I don't know. Maybe because I'm American and I want to see a fight like this, especially if it's in America, man. That'd be crazy, Usyk Wilder. But I don't know. I think it'd be an entertaining fight. It'd be an entertaining build-up. It'll be a good all-around thing, you know. I'll talk more about this fight if it happens, but just my early thoughts on it. Usyk versus Wilder. It would have been really cool to see this fight back in like 2019, 2020. You know, when they were both kind of at their best. Because, like I said, Wilder struggled with a lot of southpaws. Usyk is one of the best southpaws of the past like 25 years, and I think those angles would give Wilder like hell, but would give Wilder a lot of problems. But you know, they say that the kryptonite for the southpaw is the right hand, and Wilder has that, you know, Alabama slammer. So, like, you know, most people would pick Usyk, but you know, Wilder in his prime, he had a chance with that right hand against anybody. And when Usyk was first moving up to heavyweight, I saw Wilder say back in the day, like, you know, Usyk doesn't, like, he wouldn't do good at heavyweight, you know, these guys are too big and all that. He was talking like, he wasn't talking trash to Usyk. I think that's just how he felt, and he didn't mean anything disrespectful by that. But there's always been kind of been something there between the both of them, man. I wish we saw that fight, you know, back then. That would have been a really good fight. But you know, Wilder took the L's to Fury. You know, Usyk fought Joshua instead, you know, and the rest is history. Usyk went on to become undisputed, and yeah, that's what she wrote. But let me know what you guys think of this fight, who you guys think would win, or who would you rather see Usyk fight for his final fight if it's not Wilder? I heard that John Jones is an option too. I don't want to see another crossover fight. And man, these MMA guys coming into boxing is starting, you know, they're starting to scare me, because every time they come in, at least for the debuts, they usually do really, really good, you know. Conor McGregor, you know, put up a good fight against Floyd, and Ngannou put up a good fight against Joshua, but then he got laid out. I mean, against Fury, but then he got laid out by Joshua. And then, you know, Rico Verhoeven put up a good fight against Usyk, so who knows how John Jones would do. I don't really watch a lot of MMA, but I heard he struggles against boxers. I know nothing about that, but I don't know. I'm kind of scared of these MMA guys coming into boxing after what I've seen. But no, I hope this fight happens. I hope it's in America. You know, the buzz would be cool to see. I don't think there's been a really big fight in America since Jake Paul fought AJ. I know we had the Boots fight versus Xander Zayas, but that wasn't like a big fight. When AJ fought Joshua, like everybody was talking about that fight. What about before that? What was the last big fight before that? I can't think of it. Can't think of one off the top of my head. Crawford Canelo, that was pretty big. I don't know. I can't think before that. I can't really think of one. Maybe Haney Garcia. I'm probably missing one, but yeah, I don't know. This is a fight I want to see, and I hope it happens. And I hope they both retire after that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Stone Boxing fan, and I'm out.